This is quite an interesting one. So a few years back, 5G was announced to be in the works to bring extremely high-speed internet to the basic consumer. Simply an upgrade to the already common 4G we have on all of our devices, just incredibly faster. What's interesting is the way this 5G system could change how we play games so drastically that in the near future we may not even need a console or gaming PC. This has got to do with cloud gaming, and how 5G can make it mainstream for the average gamer by significantly decreasing latency to virtually non-existent levels. We have already seen services like GeForce Now and PlayStation Now which offer Netflix-like services but for games. And while it does work, chances are you have high latency that renders gameplay useless. This lag is especially noticeable when playing fast-paced shooters like Overwatch, CSGO, PUBG, and Fortnite, and thus the service simply is not worth the trouble. These services are also quite pricey. PlayStation Now isn't too bad at $20, but GeForce Now is a standout here. At a staggering $25 for 10 hours, this is not a cost-efficient system to play games properly. This combined with the fact that you need a very fast internet connection, which is wildly unavailable in most parts of the world, the initial cost of the game, and fast bandwidth, Wi-Fi or Ethernet connectivity makes the option unattractive to most gamers out there. Yes, some may argue that buying the system to play the games is also very pricey, but in the long run, the cost of maintaining the GeForce Now system is too high for what you get. This is where 5G comes in. "5G will operate the same way 4G does today. It will be available to anyone who has a 5G capable device. This is my first point. It will be widely accessible to a large amount of countries worldwide, which will allow a cloud gaming service like GeForce Now to be available worldwide essentially, not just in the States and Europe. And because 5G has such low response times, latency will be virtually unnoticeable, which will mean seamless streaming wherever you are. If we compare response times to 4G, we can see a major difference by a factor of up to 400. This creates an equal environment for competitive gamers who use streaming services as if they own their own PCs. And because 5G will be an all-in-one package which provides low latency, high bandwidth, and strong connectivity, it greatly reduces the cost of maintaining something like GeForce Now. This has extremely strong repercussions on the game industry. If major developers decide to adopt this model of gaming, developing games optimized for the cloud and creating cloud-based subscription services, we could see console manufacturers opt to create low-powered consoles that do not even need powerful GPUs to run games. Instead, they would allow powerful internet connectivity to utilize the cloud gaming system, which will be a powerful device on the other side of the world. This would eliminate the need to upgrade your system every 5 years or so, and can be useful to PC gamers where upgradability is even more important. Everyone would have standard graphics across the playing field. Finally, it would greatly increase mobility and gaming on the go, something we are already seeing with the also successful Switch. Now, I am not saying that I prefer this model. I enjoy having my own system, and I consider myself a PC enthusiast, so I like upgrading it and having a cool looking machine. Low latency is cool and all, but I am happy with what I have now. But I can see why the prospects of all this can be appealing to those living in places like Africa and some other parts of the world, or even in places like Europe and the US. And even though I personally think console developers would not adopt this sort of system, there is a low chance of it. But only if 5G becomes that mainstream, and is available to just about anywhere, which is unlikely. If the repercussions mentioned before do not get implemented in the near future, there is one other aspect that could develop and change the mobile games industry. With 5G being so powerful and all, an interesting thing to consider is the ability to play console games on mobile phones. With the Switch showcasing that AAA games on the go is perfectly liable, console developers or PC developers for that matter could decide to create subscription services for mobile gamers to experience their games on their phones. Of course, there are other aspects that need addressing here. Controls are a big one. Touchscreen controls are way too clunky to utilize the complexity of some games out there, but if there was a way of optimizing controls so they could universally be used on mobile devices and consoles or PCs, this is a reasonable possibility. The question I propose to you all is, do you think this is a possibility? Does anyone really see this as where the game industry is heading? We all know one thing. Many companies out there are joining the cloud gaming industry and trying to develop more affordable ways of streaming games to any machine. It is interesting to think about. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. and thanks for watching. Hope this was informative and interesting. Give it a like if you enjoyed, and a sub will mean a lot. Thank you kindly. Tash Talks.